YouTube? What's up? It's your boy JMMA here, back with another one. Listen, today we're gonna be talking about how successful can Sim be in UFC 5. Yes, Sim. Let's just get this out the way now. We're not gonna be tell how successful it can be or how trash it can be, because we've never had a fully Sim EA Sports UFC game. We've had full-on arcade with UFC 2, UFC 4. We've had Sim in arcade, UFC 1, UFC 3. But we've never had one on a full spectrum of Sim. So this is going to be my full opinion on how Sim can be very successful in UFC 4. I'm going to give y'all, let's do 3 points. 3 points. Alright, the first point, well, this is really not a point. Before we even get into the points, if I'm being quite honest, it's really not a point. I just want to say this. If people have been DMing me in my comments asking me what do I want out of a Sim game, but this is what I want, right? I want to be able for shit to be I wouldn't say unfair, but let me give you realistic. Let me give you an example though. If my opponent picks Khabib Nurmagomedov and I pick Conor McGregor, right? Now this player he's an average player, okay? He's alright? And it's me, I have Conor McGregor. So the fight starts, I'm getting my shots off, landed, whatever. He's feeling me out. He's not really throwing strikes. He's trying to wrestle. He hasn't shot yet, but I'm feeling him out. I'm waiting on the shot. He gets a good entry on the shot, gets me down to the ground, middle of the octagon, right? Now, this is where things get tricky, because people say, well, I don't want to be able to be held down by, someone who's trash because of Conor McGregor. That's not what I mean. Listen, it's all about skill set and stick work. Sim is truly about skill. If your opponent doesn't really know how to hold you down, you're gonna be able to get up some way with Conor McGregor. It's not just gonna be you're gonna be fighting a dude in quick fight who's complete dog shit, who's just spamming takedowns, and you get him down to the ground, you can't get up because you have Conor McGregor, because it says no. Conor McGregor has some great jiu-jitsu escape, so he's gonna be able to get out. If the player doesn't know what he's doing, listen, you can make mistakes when wrestling. When you're trying to pass guard, you make a mistake, someone gets butterfly guard, you make a mistake trying to pass and knot it up. You know what I'm saying? So things like that happen before I even get into this. And I'm gonna post some screenshots on the screen for all of these points. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so just to piggyback off the first example that I talked about with the wrestlers, let's talk about this. So really the first point on how successful it can be. Alright, so let's say I'm gonna give all of these are just gonna be straight up scenarios, right? But if it works the right way, Sim can work, because you're gonna have to use your actual MMA knowledge. Yes, MMA knowledge. And I've seen tweets on Twitter talking about MMA knowledge isn't gonna be, it's not gonna work, it's just the gamers, mindset, things like that, stupid shit like that. So I'm gonna read not a tweet, but a conversation me and Romero had about UFC 4, Sim realistic styles and things like that. It's gonna be on the screen while I'm reading it, because I have it on my phone. I took a screenshot of it. Alright, so here we go. He said, well, I brought up the scenario, the kind of McGregor scenario I was talking about. He was like, okay, consider yourself a striker. You have the game plan of sapping away your grappling opponent with rangy shots. Now, what he means by that is, right, we all know body shots. If you have a common knowledge of MMA, just in general, usually the body shots slow down the pace. They zap away the stam of a wrestler or someone with a high pressure pace, So you're gonna be throwing those front kicks, those teep kicks, those lead body side kicks, those spinning body side kicks, things like that, to slowly zap away the body uppercuts, the hooks, the body straights, just small things, small teeny tiny things to zap away from that stam. So that's what Romero means by that. Like I said, body teeps, side kicks, body crosses, and keeping yourself light on your feet to eat at their gas tank. Round 2 happens, their stamina is zapped due to the damage, of course. So their stamina is it's not gone, but most of it, they can't keep that pace up with the amount of stamina because they've taken so many body shots. Now the thing is, they're gonna be shooting 4 takedowns. They're gonna get into a range where they're gonna be able to time a takedown. It's a matter of, can you defend it or not? Can you get the wizard? Can you get out of the wizard? Things like that. I'm surprised that wasn't even in UFC UFC 4 with the new improved clinch system, wizards, and things like that. But anyway, yeah, are they gonna be able to get out of the wizard? You know, are their hands really clamped down to where I actually fucking clamped down behind my back? Are their hands actually really clamped down to where they can get the takedown? Can you sweep the leg? Small things like that, you know, that takes them making them work for a takedown. Working for a takedown takes a lot of stamina. Y'all don't know, and not getting it is demoralizing as well for the player, that is. So he says that, right? Then he says, but now he gets a takedown and all of his stamina returns to normal. Now, that is an interesting point to leave off at, because basically what I interpreted that as is he takes you down, right? Now he's zapping your stamina, so pretty much he's gonna have the stamina advantage back. He's gonna, you know, regain some, you know, he's gonna get a second win. He's gonna regain some of that stamina back, so a stamina regen. That's kind of realistic. Fighters get second win in fights all the time. Perfect example, 5th round Robbie Lawler, you know, second win. Conor McGregor and Nick Diaz fight 2 in the 3rd or 4th round, he got a second win. You know, fighters get second wins all the time, you know, so it's common in MMA, and the MMA knowledge, I just want to speak more on this. I just gave y'all an example with that. MMA knowledge can be utilized so perfectly with sim. Fighters like Gleb, MMA Fro, shout out to my guy Gleb. He fights in real life. Romero wrestles in real life. Cody Dink does jujitsu. I do jujitsu. You got some people who box in real life. You know, they can use that into MMA. I mean, not into MMA. They can use their MMA knowledge into a realistic sim MMA game. Just like how, for example, Poe, right? Poe he's a Golden Glove. He's run regionals. He's went to the UK for people. He's been pro. In ESBC, the way it's looking is gonna be 100% sim. He's gonna have an advantage over a lot of people because of his real boxing knowledge. He's gonna know if I go in with this straight, he's gonna hit me with this punch. So I know this punch is coming. MMA, you know, all right, if he gets this wizard, okay, I can kind of like butterfly guard. I can clamp the wrist down, and then I can scramble my way back up to the cage. Things like that, because he's trying to scoop my back. He's gonna, if he takes me down against the cage, he's gonna try to scoop my butt, so my back is against the cage. So I have to work back to get my back against the cage, so we can get backs in and work his way up. Work his way up back to the feet. I'm kind of talking fast, I'm sorry, but things like that, you know what I mean? So common MMA knowledge is going to be a key factor. It's going to be real successful if you can use, you know, that in sim. I'm sorry if I'm kind of rambling and if I'm kind of looking down because I'm looking at these screenshots, right? So another example, I'm going to be using a lot of wrestling examples, but another example, right, of how successful sim can be would be the stopping of the OP fighters. It's gonna stop all of that. It's gonna stop it. And I seen people talking about, well, it's not gonna stop it because OP fighters are gonna be more OP. Well, in real life, Max Holloway can be wrestle fucked. Max Holloway can be stopped. He can be dead wrestled by Volk. That's realistic. Volk can take him down and wrestle him easily and control him. In real life, did it happen? No, because Volk knew, you know, Max is the dangerous. You know, Max has great takedown defense. He knows Max, you know, he can get back up. So he wanted to keep it striking. You know, I don't know why. He should have had a heavy wrestle gameplay. He had a lot of counters and leg kicks, things like that. So, you know, Volk, but in a game, right, in a realistic game, Volk can control and hold down Max Holloway. Max Holloway doesn't have a great bottom game, right? It's crazy how people think that, because Petr Yan, for example, in real life, he really doesn't have any weaknesses besides, I would say, leg kicks, movement. You know, he kind of shells up when people are unloading on Petr Yan. He kind of shells up, and then he would explode and catch him off guard, because he was doing that to Jose Aldo. But if you like have him shell up, you know what I'm saying, then surprise him with a shoot takedown, you can probably control Petr Yan, because you really haven't seen him on his back for a long period of time in the UFC, that is. And I believe if Aldrin gets him down, he's gonna control him. So that's another thing. A player like Robert Whitaker, he has trouble. Robert Whitaker. If you fight someone if you have Izzy and you have, a Robert Whitaker, people say Robert Whitaker is pretty OP. If you have someone like a Robert Whitaker, right, and then you have someone who has an Izzy fighting on the outside, using that range, making them come in, countering them, that's gonna be beautiful. That's gonna stop a lot of that shit. That's this sim game style is gonna stop a lot of that. Another OP fighter people like to break up. I say Conor at featherweight is pretty OP. Now the thing with Conor at featherweight, he's gonna be extremely powerful, extremely fast. But the first 2 rounds, well, really not the first 2. I say probably a round and a half. He's gonna be fucking. Ooh, man, Conor is gonna be crazy good. That nigga Conor gonna be that boy good. He gonna be crazy good. You know what I'm saying? So people have to think about that as well. Conor, prime Conor, that Conor at featherweight can be taken down. Conor now can't be taken down. He doesn't have a great bottom game. So you can game plan around that. Again, MMA knowledge. If you have a great knowledge of MMA, game plan around that. All right. If you read your opponent, Justin, he's doing all right. He's continuously throwing this straight rear hook. I mean, not the rear hook, lead hook, and then the rear body uppercut. So the moment he throws that straight, I know he's gonna throw a hook right behind it. I'm gonna shoot right in for a double leg. I'm probably gonna try to trip the leg so it's easier for me to get. But I know he's gonna probably try to scramble. So you know what I'm gonna do? Clamp that wrist so he can't crawl back to the cage. I'm talking if we're in the middle of the cage, right? So that's another thing. So let me give y'all another scenario, right? So Romero tells me, like Max invoking that first fight, he gets taken down. He uses the cage well to almost get up immediately for the first time. Now conservatively, Max tries a trip in their rematch. His skill level is not better than Volk's in sim style of play. Volk counters him, takes him down. Skill plus better usage. That's exactly what I mean. If you work your takedowns better, if you have a better understanding of MMA, it's just not okay. I'm just gonna shoot because I have quote unquote grapple advantage. I'm gonna hit his body so many times I can just fill up this grapple advantage bar and just transition or go for a takedown. It's not gonna work like that, bro. You have to. It's better skill, like I was talking about. If someone, is not that great on the ground, they're not clamping your wrist. They're not, they're in your butterfly guard and they're trying to pass guard and they fuck up. You can easily get up. Things like that. Like I said, better skill, better usage. They have to know how to work the ground. All right. Next point. This sim gameplay is gonna stop this block breaking shit. Now, yes, the block is significantly weaker. It's gonna be significantly weaker, yes, because then the block in real life is significantly weaker. People are not gonna be able to hold their hands up for so long, but also people are not gonna be able to spam hooks. They're not gonna be able to throw jab straight hook. They're not gonna be able to, throw that a plethora of amount of times with certain fighters. Maybe with someone like a Max, but Max doesn't have that type of power, and that power's not gonna be wearing on your arms to where your hands are gonna you're gonna have to drop your hands. You know what I mean? But is that a good example, y'all? Thinking about that, that's really not a good example. You know what I'm saying? But y'all get the point of what the fuck I'm trying to make. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna stop a lot of that block breaking shit. These block breaking ass combos. It's gonna stop the double jab from immediately having someone drop their fucking hands. It's gonna stop a lot of that, man. And it's gonna open up a lot of opportunities for counters. Yes, counters. The countering in UFC 4, I really, it's okay. I really don't like it. I think it's kind of exaggerated. When someone, say you have your guard, right? When someone pulls, they parry. A lot of people parry the shot. So when someone pulls for example, Tony Ferguson, right? Pointing case Josh Thompson. Josh Thompson comes in, he throws a straight. Tony parries with his left hand, not his left hand. Yeah, his left hand, because Tony's unorthodox. He parries with the left hand, comes over the top with an elbow. Leon Edwards, he doesn't do that. Yeah, he does that sometimes, but he usually does it in a clinch. When he disengage, he catches his opponent off guard with an elbow. Things like that. Like I said, MMA knowledge. You reading your opponent, knowing when they're vulnerable and when they're not vulnerable. Things like that. I think the countering system we're going to be better. Honestly, UFC 4-5 is gonna be successful in general if it's sim with just sales, because a lot of MMA fans want sales. That's why a lot of MMA fans don't play UFC 4, don't play UFC 5, because it is a sim. They don't like the arcade-ish way. You see why a lot of these boxers, a lot of these boxing fans, you see why there's a lot of hop around ESBC. Not because it, obviously not them not having a boxing game for so long plays a factor into it, but people see, oh my goodness, it's really like sim, it's really realistic. I'm gonna have to take my time. I'm gonna have to, think about all the shots. And that just brings me into my next point. I'm just setting myself up for a lot of these points. Sim is gonna make people, it's really gonna make people think about the shots they're throwing out. You know what I'm saying? You can be dominating a fight for 4 rounds. If you make one mistake, if that's all it takes in MMA, one mistake, I don't care. People say I don't care if you was dominating a fight for 4 rounds. You can say, well, that's not fair. I was dominating the fight for 4.5 rounds. That's not fair for him to get up and I lean into a hook and the fight is over. That's not fun. Well, don't make the mistake. That's the fun in it. You fuck that up. That's more exciting than watching 2 niggas standing in the middle of the octagon, block breaking them back, getting dominated, coming back in the 5th round, walking them down, and he tries to sidestep into a hook or something. You throw that lead hook, bam, rock his ass, and you get him. You finish him off, get him out of there. Pause. You get him out of there. You know what I'm saying? That's more fun to me, in my opinion. It creates strategic game planning. It allows people to be more careful with the shots they throw. It's more technical bouts. It helps camp. I'm not really a fan of the whole camp thing, but it helps camps game playing around things better, you know what I mean? So that would be fun as well. And I'm gonna give y'all one more example from the Romero thing, because I thought this was real interesting, you know what I mean? Let me find it. I'm gonna put it on the screen about boxing knowledge. All right, I'm gonna put it on the screen right, hold on. Alright, I found it, alright? So I'm gonna put it on the screen. Before I even put it on the screen, I don't know why some people just think the game, you're learning the game mechanics is gonna be better than having real boxing knowledge. I don't think so, alright? But anyway, this is what he said, and I'm gonna leave y'all off with this, alright? He said, knowledge of the sport means fuck all if you're not applying it to the game. If it's possible to be applied in said instance of the fight, for example, you get taken down in side control, and so in the game you start hitting undeniable fakes to roll. In real life, you'll be going back and forth, trying to create the space to get up, trying to create separation to get the person off of you, which is the closest thing that represents. So I agree with him. Doing that stuff, trying to roll out, trying to do that's MMA now. That's not a game mechanic that you can. I mean, you can learn that through the game, but having that knowledge when the game first comes out with someone who really doesn't know MMA, they're just getting in, into UFC 5, and they don't know how to create space. They don't know how to do things like that. You're gonna have an advantage over a lot of these guys in ESFL when a game goes on. They can learn the mechanic of trying to wiggle out from this position or wiggle out from that position, but they're not gonna know how to get out of every position. If you have MMA knowledge, you know how to create separation from every position. You know what I'm saying? Like a Cody Denk trains in BJJ. He pretty much knows how to create separation, knows how to flip people, knows how to get those transitions off in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? So simulations is gonna be good. I know I kind of rambled on. I used a lot of the same points as far as the wrestling thing, but I feel like sim, man, it can make this game so fucking successful, man. Just bringing, I don't think it's probably gonna sell well because arcade sells better than sim, because arcade caters more to the casual fans, but the real MMA fans, man, the sales are gonna do well, man, with the real MMA fans. I feel like it's gonna bring out more competitiveness with this thing. Being competitive, just sitting there game planning around block breaking, that shit is lame. Game planning around, all right, his weakness, he really doesn't know how to create separation from this point. When he gets to the full guard, he's kind of lost. When he gets to that part, he's kind of lost. He doesn't know how to utilize the butterfly guard, things like that. That's cool. I like game planning around shit like that. So y'all let me know down below in the comments what y'all think, man. It's your boy JMMA, man. I'll see y'all later, man. Until next time, remember, beating your meat is not productive. Simple. It's not productive. See y'all next time, man. I'm gonna leave Remember channel link down below in the description, man. So y'all go check Remember out. High level game player, game changer, and he's a ESFL champion. So y'all go check him out. Till next time, man. It's your boy JMMA. I'm out, man. Y'all have a great day. Peace.